Notice of non-compliance appeals. Is Craig Griffin with us today online? He is not. Therefore, we need to open this hearing for Craig, and we'll get that started. Excuse me. This is an administrative hearing being held on October 31st, 2024 at 1202 East 38th Street, Discovery Hall, Suite 100, Indianapolis, Indiana, 46205, and electronically through Microsoft Teams at 9:05 a.m. local time. This hearing is being conducted pursuant to the laws of the state of Indiana found in Indiana Code 4-21.5 before 6 members of the Indiana Board of Veterinary Medicine. The notice of proposed dismissal was mailed and emailed to Craig Griffin, DVM, as provided by law on July 31st, 2024. Dr. Griffin has failed to respond to the notice of proposed dismissal. The purpose of this hearing is to conduct any further proceedings necessary in order to conclude this matter. My name is Jerry Rodenbarger, and I am serving as hearing officer for this board. The following members of the board are sitting with me on this hearing: Paul Clemente, DVM, John Schneer, DVM, Stephen Sunbury, DVM, Natalie C. Goodwin, consumer member, and Kelly Peelman, DVM. Excuse me. At this time, I will request that any board member who feels that he or she cannot give this individual a fair hearing and render an impartial decision to remove himself or herself from this hearing. Okay. The respondent is not present, and that being the case, I'm going to suggest we have the board move to dismiss. The board hereby takes official judicial notice of its file and record in this matter. I would, at this point, entertain a motion from the board to have dismissal of this case.
Of his petition.
Excuse me, dismiss his petition. Okay, thank you. Do I have such a motion from the board?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Paul. Do I have a second?
Second.
Do we need a roll call for this? Or just verbal?
You would? Okay. Okay.
Okay. Paul Clemente?
Aye.
John Schneer?
Aye.
Stephen Sunbury?
Aye.
Natalie Goodwin?
Aye.
Kelly Peelman?
Aye.
And for myself, Jerry Rodenbarger? Aye. There are no other people for opposed, so I think we're set. Anything else with regard to this?
No, that's it.
Okay.
You can close, you just close it out somewhere if you can.
Okay, I wasn't sworn. I don't know if that comes later. Should I have been sworn in before that?
I don't know how it told me to stop at this point.
Sorry, that's my fault. Okay. Swear it now.
Is that all right with you? Okay. Swearing in of the court reporter. A little after the fact. Will the official reporter designated for this hearing please stand and be sworn? Raise your right hand and state your name.
Margie Addington.
Do you solemnly swear that you will keep complete and true notes of all that transpires in this hearing or transpired in this hearing, and prepare a complete transcript thereof from your notes, and faithfully perform all duties imposed upon you as an official reporter under the laws of the state of Indiana?
I do.
Thank you. Okay. I think we're all set there now. In our agenda, we will see Mary Elizabeth Golden, but she is now off of the agenda. And so we can move to personal appearances. And under probation, Darren Miller, DDM. Good morning, Darren.
Good morning.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing well.
That's good to hear. I'm going to let you kind of tell us how things are going, but I do understand that you have signed a continuing care contract with case management and monitoring services with Ann Kelly.
That's correct.
Okay. Why don't you tell us about what's going on and everything that you and she are doing and that you're doing on your own and that type of thing.
Yeah. It was early September there. We met, me and Ann Kelly met, and I signed a 5-year contract for monitoring. Currently, the current program right now is that I have a device, a breathalyzer device that I blow into 3 times a day, morning, noon, 5 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. And then I check in every day on an app to see if I go get tested or need to go to a testing location to be urine tested for alcohol, well, for everything really. But that contract I signed with her is for 5 years. As far as, and then I'm required to do 3 support groups a week. And I record that in my app. But I typically, my regular schedule for as far as meetings and things go, I'm still doing my Anna Branch, which was my inpatient and outpatient program. I'm doing, it's kind of an aftercare graduate program. Basically, it's 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. In the evenings, it's a virtual group session with a counselor where it's about 2.5 hours. We go over different things like relapse and relapse prevention and just anything, stressors that are going on with anybody during the day. It's kind of just a support group, really. And then I attend Celebrate Recovery meetings, which is Christ-centered 12-step program. I've completed a step study with them. I'm also doing my sponsors through them. It's at my church, usually Friday nights. And then when I'm not working, Saturday mornings. And then church on Sundays. So
Your 3 different groups a week, are those each individually different? So you have 3 different groups?
yeah. So it's the Anna Branch, the Celebrate, and then I also see a therapist about every once a month. We've moved it back to once every 3 weeks or something like that.
And when you mentioned the urine test that you had, and you kind of said, well, for anything, alcohol was your main issue?
Yeah,
Is that correct?
alcohol.
Did you have others as well? Or
No, it's just
alcohol?
as part of the contract for the veterinary well-being program, I'm not allowed to have any mind-altering substances. So basically I told her what medications I'm on, and if I test positive for something else, then we'd have a conversation. But I've never had a problem with anything else. It's just been alcohol. But the test, I believe, for alcohol goes back, the urine test is 5 days previous. It tests for metabolite, basically. Yeah.
Are you still doing some work for Sullivan?
Yep. I'm still working for them. Most of the time, it's just part-time Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But Dr. Ben Poline is getting ready to have surgery, so I'm going to be working more. And then when they go on vacation, I work more down there. I'm also, our family business is expanding, so I spend a lot of time with the research business, both as I'm the veterinarian of record for the farm, and I do primary investigator role. So any kind of new study that comes through, we get to sign a primary investigator, so I do that work too, and a little bit of everything else.
Have you figured out how to get more than 24 hours in a day?
it's actually, I got my routine. That's the one thing that really helps me as far as sobriety is being on a routine, which is basically go work. Work's always been a big part of my life. And then, having the support system with the different groups, made some pretty close friends through that. It's pretty personal sometimes.
Being so busy, your stressors, are you doing okay?
Yeah, it works,
Or is that a benefit, being too busy to think
yes,
about anything else?
That's one thing they kind of talk to us about, is idle hands are the devil's playground. So if you can keep yourself busy, so getting to work with my family a lot, that helps. Seeing the business growing like it is, that's a huge benefit. Working with Sullivan, they've got plenty of help. Caseload's lower. It's much more. It helps. It's actually what's the word? It reinvigorates you a little bit and keeps me in the veterinary. And then I also do surgeries for the Sullivan County Humane Shelter too. So I go over there once a week in the afternoons.
Okay.
So,
Questions from the board?
So the Sullivan practice, that's a group.
yeah, so it's Dr. Ben Poline and his wife, Dr. Monica Poline. They own the practice, and then I've been kind of working part-time and subbing for them while like I said, he's getting ready to have some surgery and they need the help, so.
Pretty much all small animal then.
Small, mixed. I primarily just do the small animal. I have done some large animal for them. Still not really able to drive, so that kind of limits my large animal work. But yeah, small animal primarily.
Most of your surgeries and spays and neuters and routine things like that.
Yep. And I really don't do a lot of days I work. I don't do a lot of surgeries for them. But coming up, I'll be doing more and more. It's one of the reasons I went to help the Humane Shelter, just to stay in practice doing surgery.
Anybody else have anything?
I don't have a question, but I just want to comment on the change in your face and your stature and your vocabulary. So it's noticeable. Good job.
Thank you, yeah. On a health kick too, so might as well.
Well, we're pretty excited for you and supportive, and we really want to see success this time.
Yep, no, I'm committed to it, and as far as the breathalyzer and everything, it just reaffirms what I'm already doing, so it's not a big burden at all. So I appreciate the board having that option. So it's actually really helpful.
Now, we're up here trying to flip back through previous orders.
Mhm.
Are you scheduled, do you know, for every 3 months or every 6 months? How often in your mind are you coming back to see us?
I'm
And
not.
would you be more comfortable coming every 3 months to check in with us?
I was gonna leave that up to the board. I'm not really sure what was in my mind, so it's up to you guys.
He still has a court appearance, I believe. You still have a court appearance coming up?
In December, I'm not sure. I'm kind of letting the lawyer handle most of that, so.
Okay, well, we will have
January.
probably a January meeting at some point, so maybe we should check back in
Yeah, that'd
at
be
that
fine.
January meeting if that works okay.
Yep, that worked great.
Awesome.
Yep.
Let's plan on that then.
Do we want to do a personal appearance, or do we want to go ahead and set up for an actual hearing in case we want to modify his probation at that time based off of that?
His current probation order has him until August 8th, 2027, so he's still set out a while.
Right. I didn't know if there's going to be any kind of,
The only thing
Additional
additional we
requirements.
could do would be to suspend his
Okay,
license or
right.
something like that. I don't think we're
that's
in the
fair.
mood to want to do that.
I just
So,
want to make sure that he's not here for a personal appearance and then we can't modify something because he wasn't noticed for a hearing. Make sense?
No, yes,
Okay.
absolutely it does. I think, comments from the board, I mean, I think we're good where we
I
are.
think the order was for 3 years before you could apply to come on.
Right, that part, so yeah,
I
it's
think we should,
August 8th of
given the
27.
history, I think we should stick with that.
I would agree. Everyone else all right with that? But we would like to chat, see how things went with your legal situation. So we'll be reaching out to you for the January meeting.
Absolutely, that's just fine.
Anything else you'd like to offer?
No, just appreciate the board's support, and I'm gonna keep doing what I'm supposed to be doing, so.
We're going to be all over you to make that happen.
I appreciate it. It's been a thorn in my side for a while, so it's time to get it taken care of.
Perfect. Have a great day.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Rachel Bruner. Welcome.
Hello.
In my mind, this is kind of an exciting day visit for you. At least for me it is. So glad to see you. Why don't you give us a little update on what's been going on, how you're doing? Are you still on that 10, 12 of 20 sobriety date?
Mhm. Yes.
Okay.
I
I
am.
didn't want to or expect to hear anything different from you.
Okay.
Excellent.
Yeah, other than that, I'm still employed full-time at Eastside Animal Hospital in Evansville. Just celebrated my 11-year anniversary there a couple months ago. Things are going well. I stay really into like health, fitness. And so I feel like over the past 4 years or more, so even the past year or so, I've gotten even more into that. I go to the gym probably 5 days a week. Really into just taking care of myself these days.
I sit before you humiliated, hearing that. I don't quite make that happen, so,
It's okay.
all right. And work is good? Is that a stressful situation? You survive it day to day,
Yeah,
or?
it used to be. We went through some changes in staffing, ownership, to where I feel like I have a better work-life balance than I ever had. And my hours, I work about maybe like 34 hours a week. Never have any overtime. That works out well for me financially. So I really like the not working like 40+ hours a week. That's something I used to do. So.
My guess would be at 11-year celebration of being there that you have some newer, maybe younger people that come to you for this, that, and whatever every once in a while.
Yes,
Do you enjoy that, or
I like it, yeah.
are they
Really?
pestering you?
No. We actually have really low turnover with our vet techs at my work. I think like the other ones have been there like 8 years, at least 5 years for all of them. So,
That is a fabulous practice management statement right there, when you have minimal turnover. So kudos to the people you work for.
so we really haven't had to train anybody in a while, but it's still fun whenever it comes through.
Sure.
Yeah.
Comments or thoughts from the board? February. What's that? February.
It's February 2nd, I believe, of 2025. So
Okay.
if you're willing, she can come off at the January meeting since it's just gonna be a few days
Well,
later.
that's kind of, I mean, yeah, I thought she could request to get on the agenda for it, but she had to request today for that.
Okay, yep.
That's
she-
kind of, I wasn't expecting her to come
Oh,
off
yeah,
today.
yeah, she can.
So,
That was gonna be one of my next questions.
right, well, I figured it was. I mean, that's why I started out by saying it's kind of an
Yeah.
exciting day for us.
I feel
Because
like
for
we're
me,
getting close,
I
right?
kind of felt like we were where you could ask today,
Mhm.
and then we would be seeing you for a hearing to have you come off probation
Okay,
at the next
yeah,
meeting.
I guess if I could formally request to make things happen to taking off probation, that would be awesome. Yep, we'll have you on the January agenda. Okay.
That sounds great.
Rachel.
Yeah.
I got a little caught up in the details. At one point, were you seeing Midwest Behavioral Health?
Oh, I should have added that. Yes, I still see Catherine Sutton.
Okay.
They've changed ownership, different corporate, it's called Lifestance Health.
Okay, so Lifestance is Midwest.
It is,
Okay.
yes. Same thing, same
Okay.
therapist I've been seeing for years.
Okay.
They just changed names, ownership, all that. I see her about every 3 weeks.
And how long do they want you to continue with that, did they say?
She said I could be considered graduated from therapy if I wanted to, but I find a real good benefit for it. My health benefits allow me to financially continue it. So for now, I enjoy going. So I plan on sticking with that. Probably, maybe indefinitely, not 100% sure.
Was that, when was the initial, it was 2019, I believe, right? The
Yeah.
initial,
Mm-hmm.
okay, so 5 years.
Yeah.
Good. Congratulations.
It's excellent. Any other commentary from anybody? Thanks for coming to visit with us. I think we'll see you in January.
All right, happy Halloween.
Absolutely.
Bye, thank you.
Justin Thorpe?
Oh, he might be out in the.
It's actually Tharp.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Thorpe on the agenda, but it's Tharp.
Is it spelled differently even?
Yeah, T-H-A-R-P.
Okay.
That's how I have it.
Oh, but it's just, it's in the,
Yeah, the case is right, but the agenda was Thorpe,
I came around.
but it's Tharp.
Thanks, Paul.
You can see.
Good morning.
Morning.
Thank you for coming to visit with us. You want to tell us a little bit about what you're doing? I think you live in Indy here somewhere, is that right?
I'm about 30 minutes away, yeah. I am taking it hopefully for the 5th time. I was here a year ago, and they had given me accommodations to take it for the 4th time. So I took it twice, and my score the first time was not great. After that, I ended up getting a tutor, and I improved a bunch, and then I took it online, and it went horribly. So then this last time I got accommodations to take it with extended time in a room alone, and I wasn't quite as anxious, but my score somehow, some way went down. So I'm just trying to take it again. I still have a tutor, and I've been studying since I failed.
Are you working in the veterinary field at this point?
Yes, I work as an assistant. I've been at VCA for 2 years.
Now, tell me about your tutor.
She is, so it's online. She works in an ER in Ohio. She's like an ER specialist. But we meet two times a week for like an hour or two. And she has courses online. So I've been kind
Is
of.
she a registered veterinary technician? Is that, okay? And where you work, are there also registered veterinary technicians?
There's 3, I believe, and then the rest are assistants as well, so.
And have you reached out to them to
I'm
do
working
some
with another one that's.
quizzing
not
and
passed,
that
yeah.
kind of thing?
Yeah, we have kind of been not really working together quite as much, but yeah, we've met up to try to study together, so.
Okay. You've kind of had a little bit of some consistent areas where you've
Yeah.
dropped, more than others. And are you really focusing on those? I think
Yes.
anesthesia and dentistry were,
The main, yeah, those are, anesthesia is the big one right now that I'm working on, but yeah, I've been working with those solely, so.
Okay.
My main concern.
well, our goal certainly is to be supportive and see this happen for you, but anything that anybody has that they'd like to provide that might give us
Just a
additional
question.
help.
You graduated from what school?
Ashworth College.
From where?
Ashworth or Penn Foster, I think there's a
Okay.
couple different names.
And what year was it?
So 20 2020, I believe.
Okay, all right.
So that's a distance learning.
Yeah, so mostly online, and then I had my externship for my last semester that I did, like all my skills and whatnot, so.
You had a little drop off from the 328.
Yeah, I have no idea.
You said there's something about online. Was it different than going to the testing center?
On the, it was not, I don't know. I did it mostly for like the testing anxiety that we talked about the last time,
Right.
but then I kept getting, like, they would pause the test a bunch of times, so it almost made me more anxious, for like talking or like reading a question out loud, so it was, yeah, I didn't.
So that was different from going to the testing site.
It was almost better doing it in the room alone, like the last time, because we did the accommodations that we talked about, and
Right.
I kind of like that more, but I don't even know, my score still went down, so I don't know.
So how do you plan on taking the test this time? Or what are your request options and what do you think you want to do?
I would want to do it the way that I did the last time, alone with extended time if I'm able to, because I felt like I was able to actually think a lot better than.
Are you at the testing location, but just in a separate room by yourself?
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay.
I would just encourage you to take the time you need to study on those. Don't just focus on the dentistry. Because remember, you need to pass the test, but you also need this information after.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna have those letters and you'll be expected to be proficient in so many things. You have life depending on you. So if the next test is in a couple months, having deadlines are great, but maybe skip them. And then, spend this month on this topic, this month, and have time to review and have time to do all those things and then come at it again. Now, take the time you need to get a good score.
Any other supportive commentary or thoughts, concerns? Well, I would absolutely echo those last comments. I think those were spot on, Kelly. And don't rush to get this done and then stub your toe again. I mean, we want to see this one actually happen for you. So we wish you well and hope you do well on this. So best of luck. We're all set. Blythe Herbert. Blythe has been added to our agenda. Have a seat. Good morning.
Good morning.
I have absolutely no information in front of me.
Yeah.
So you're going to be busy having to
okay.
tell us everything we want to hear and need to know
Yes.
about yourself and your testing and all of that sort of thing. So
Yeah, there was a little confusion when it came to like emails and things. So the emails were going to my supervisor. So I called yesterday and got it all solved. But so I was a 10-year 4-H'er. I was raised on a farm. Kind of chose that career path real fast. Since 3rd grade, this has been my whole dream. I am working at Purdue at the large animal hospital. They hired
real
me
quick,
on-
where was the family farm?
Clinton, just north of Terre Haute.
Okay.
Normally no one knows where Clinton is, so.
South of 40?
I'm not good with directions. My mom's outside. She can
No,
tell
it's
me.
not that important. I just want to know how southern of a gal you were. actually.
Not too southern, kind of in the middle, right on the Indiana-Illinois border. So,
Okay, all right.
yeah. But, so I've been working at Purdue at the large animal hospital. I got hired on right out of college where I went to IBC at the Vet Tech Institute in Indianapolis. Purdue has been a tremendous help as far as this whole journey has gone. The first time I took my exam, I think it was a lot of that first time jitters. The second time I was actually working night shift and was juggling a lot of different things over the summer at Purdue. We're 100% alone overnight on the summers, and I had like 60, 70 patients, and I worked that night before, got off at 8:30, took a little nap, and took my exam at home. It was not a good idea. I should not have taken it that time. And then the third time I took my exam, I think I was kind of still in my head from the second time. Still really, really nervous. So I've been keeping track of what I needed to work on, and the hospital has actually been more than willing to set me up with each of our departments. So I'll be spending some time with like the pharmacy department, the anesthesia department, to hopefully kind of get some more hands-on skills with them and see if maybe that helps things a little bit better. I do have really bad anxiety, so I have looked into accommodations for that to kind of help. So hopefully that's like the missing piece.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about your test scores and
Yes.
how close or far away or
So the
whatever
first
you were.
and the third time I took it at an actual testing center, I was extremely close both of those times. And then the second time, like I said, there was lots of
Stuff.
things kind of playing into that. So that one was just not really good. I kind of don't, personally, I don't count that one. I was like, I shouldn't have even taken it that time. We're going to try and forget about it.
We never heard you
So,
took that second.
Yeah, we're just going to forget about that one. So, but the first and the third time, the test scores, I think, were like maybe a point apart. And so, I'm kind of hoping that maybe this kind of getting the anxiety and stuff like that, kind of making sure that I, acknowledge that. I'm kind of thinking maybe that will help me push me over that edge of getting this passed this next time, hopefully.
So how close to the 425 number were you?
379.
379.
Okay. Was this in there somewhere?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Online, it just- Oh, now. It's well, that involves a computer. I'm not-
Now you have access to it.
Nope, that's great.
Yeah.
I'd rather hear you tell me anything.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so it was pretty close. I felt like personally for, talking to some of the other nurses who have taken the exam, and there's been doctors that I've gotten really close to at Purdue that they're like, there's no way that I could take this test right now. They're like, this is crazy. So, but they've been a lot of help, so.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So you live on campus or close
No,
by?
so
or-
I live in an apartment nearby. I actually just recently moved out of my parents' in July. So I moved out of there and I've been on my own since then.
And they're still in Clinton?
Yes,
And so-
yes.
I mean, you weren't commuting, were you?
I was originally, yes. I was driving an hour and a half to and from work. Occasionally I would stay at a friend's apartment when, especially I was working like second shift, and I would work 2 p.m. to midnight. So I was having lots of drive time there for a while.
That's good from a introspective chance to think about stuff, but that's a lot.
Yeah, it was a
So-
lot.
That may help you too, being actually not
Yes.
exhausted all the time. Might
Yeah.
help a little bit. So,
Absolutely.
well,
Well,
that's
and I'm director of our county queen and princess pageant for our county fair as well. So I'm a very, very busy girl. My mom and I were just laughing. I'm like, I teach girls how to public speak and do things like this, and I was out there like shaking. I was so nervous. So
I gotta admit, this is a pretty scary group.
it's a little intimidating.
Comments from the group?
What year did you graduate from IBC?
I graduated in 2023,
23?
I believe it was.
That would be
Because
last
I've been
year.
at Purdue just over a year, because I started there, so just last year. I started at Purdue in June.
So like you did a great job. You went 35% on pharmacology all the way up to 60,
So I have improved.
but you forgot dentistry. You
Yes.
went down in dentistry.
Yes. So with working in large animal and not doing anything in small animal, that's part of the reason why. So I'm also picking up shifts in small animal in the intermediate care and ER on Sundays to get some more small animal hands-on experience, as well as the going in with different departments and such, to kind of refresh my memory as far as that goes. I do still plan on getting vet tech prep and doing those things on top of it as well. But I have completed those a couple times and things like that. So, trying to try something different to see if something helps make it click a little bit better.
Did you ever have any experience with small animal dentistry?
Yes. So I actually worked I went through high school and I did a veterinary assistant program. It's a 2-year program where we do lots of hands-on things, and then we also can take an exam afterwards and become a certified assistant. I did that my junior and senior year, and I did take the test. I passed. I was a certified assistant right out of high school, and I actually worked in small animal general practice through most of my high school career, and then I worked at an urgent care over at Indy while I was in college. So I have lots of small animal experience, probably more than I do large animal experience, actually, when it comes to a clinic setting. So I do have experience there, yeah.
See, Purdue, I'm gathering, probably not a lot of routine dentistry going on there. It's the
No.
worst of the worst.
Yes, for the most part, yeah.
And then in the ER, you're not gonna see any
Yeah.
dental. So
That's-
that's why I was, because the dental was the one that got you on the last exam.
Yes, yes. So that's where the vet tech prep is gonna come in my opinion, because that's gonna still give me that practice and still give me that information that I need, that I may not get the hands-on experience with.
Well, congratulations on the pharmacology, because that's
Thank
usually
you.
the biggest stumbling block.
Yeah, that has always been my low point. It was my low point in college. It was my low point the first time, and so I really hammered hard on that last test for pharmacology. So.
Okay, I would make a motion, we allow Blythe to take the VT&E for the 4th time.
Yes, sir.
I second.
I have a motion and a second on the floor. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. Looks like you're going to take this test again.
Awesome. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate it.
Real quick before you leave, when you say large animal, are you doing cows and pigs? Or, I mean, are you in the equine area at all, or?
So I started on the treatment team, which means like my job is to overall care for the entire hospital, like so equine and farm. So that would be like the cows and the pigs and such.
Mhm.
So overnight I would take care of them, give them their medication, stuff like that. But now I have switched to a farm and field service position. So now I'm only the cows and things like that. And then I go out with our research team for Dr. Nevez's research that he's been doing on dairy farms. And I go there for Tuesdays and Thursdays and help him with that.
Okay. Well, thank you. Good luck.
Yes, thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Okay, nobody needs an emergency stop or anything yet? Still good shape.
No, she's not actually an appearance. She's really just a personal appearance. She's not a hearing.
Oh, wait, no, I didn't mean her.
Oh.
I meant,
Doesn't have a personal appearance.
yeah, no, yeah, we have her under applications. So I've had the wrong one. We're down here with use Craig Ribbons for Meredith. Is that what you said? I mean, the hearing leading.
No, you'll use Dr. Luff's for, and I can print it out.
Okay. All right. Sorry for the delay. Moving forward, under applications, Elizabeth Moore.
Hello.
Hi, have a seat. Thanks for coming to see us.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, our privilege. Tell us a little bit about why you're here, why we have you here.
Well, I went to school. I actually went to the same school as Blythe. Blythe and I know each other. We were in the same class. I went to IBC. I graduated 2023. I just knew that I really wanted to work with animals and help animals. I really would like to be registered. I know I passed the testing, but I did do little stupid things when I was a little bit younger. So I do know that's why I'm here today, to kind of discuss those, I assume. And go
Okay.
over my character about how I'm a changed woman and things.
Okay, we have some information in front of us, but why don't you go into detail about those stupid things?
I was young and immature, and I did not surround myself around the best people. At the time of my life when I was 19, I was using weed at the time. And it just wasn't doing any good for myself. So I got myself in trouble. I got arrested. And then I was doing like what I needed to do for the court. And I got in trouble again. I got a DUI because I was drinking. And then I just had to do a whole 360 on myself. I had to look at myself and ask myself, what are you doing with yourself? Like you're obviously going down the wrong route here. So I talked to myself and I stopped everything I was doing. I don't drink. I don't partake in anything. I did everything I needed to do. I went through everything I did with the court. I paid all my fees. I took all the classes I needed to take, all the substance abuse classes. Did everything I needed to do and came out and being a different person, I think. But,
Okay. You had a 90-day suspended license,
yes,
12-month probation.
yes,
You went through a number of programs.
Yes.
This all started in 18, is that right?
yes,
2018?
yes.
Okay. Do you have an actual sobriety date that you celebrate or when you took your last drink?
It was before I went in, of course I can't remember the date, I should remember it, but it was
Yeah,
before I
you
went
should.
in. I know I should, it was before I went into probation. I just don't focus on the date because I know most alcoholics do focus on the date. I guess I just don't, I know I was an alcoholic or probably still am, I don't usually like to use that word per se, like there's a stigmatism around it. So I celebrate myself yearly. I don't really focus on the date per se, I guess, but
Okay. Let's shift gears just a little bit for a minute. You live in Fishers, is that right?
I do, yeah.
Okay. What is your work experience at this point? What are you doing?
So I am working at in Mooresville at a veterinary clinic. I actually did my externship there. I stayed there the entire time since I graduated. I know it's kind of a little bit of a drive, but the team that I work with, I really love them. They're very supportive for me. There's actually only 2 registered vet techs there out of all of us, and they really pushed me to be a better person. And of course, they would love me to be registered, but I just really enjoy working there with all the support I get. And I love working with the animals. I do get to see occasionally some large animals out there, so like goats and pigs and stuff. So.
Okay. And you graduated from IBC, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, and that was last year.
Yes, 2023.
And so you have obviously passed the VTNE?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Questions from the group?
So 2018 was not a good year for you
No, sir, it was not.
because the original incident, I believe, was in September
Yes.
and
Oh, no, the original, I think, was
February of
February
18
and then
and
September, I'm
Yes.
sorry. Now we've got basically 6 years under our belt.
yeah.
And I guess the question we always have for everybody is, do you participate in any kind of a program or besides the criminal probation? You had to do a drug
Yes.
and alcohol back in 2018.
Yes. I do occasionally go to AA. I do.
Okay.
When I don't do it all the time, but when I feel like things are hard or anything like that, I go to my support group that I have in Fishers.
And do you have any social alcohol use right now?
No, I do not.
No glass of wine?
Nope, I do not. It's a slippery slope, so.
Okay.
So your 2018 time span, when things were not what you wanted them to be now, your friends, the people you hung out with and whatnot, still some of them around?
Absolutely not.
No, okay.
No, I haven't seen any of those people probably since then. Everybody that I was with was a drinker, and I refuse to be around anybody like that anymore. It's just not who I want to be. So, and I know obviously if I kept going down that route, who knows where I'd be today. So.
And then I was asked what What do you do for fun now? What do you, not that had to be your fun, but what would, your
Oddly
outlets?
enough, I really like to read and paint. And I have a new dog. I got a dog from school. I've never been a dog owner myself, always been a cat person. So I spend a lot of my time with her. We go hiking, walking. She has a big backyard, anything like that. I probably don't do as much like super social settings as I probably should, but I do like, I do hang out with friends sometimes, but I recently, like, I don't know if this helps or makes it worse, but I did recently lose my dad 6 months ago, and I still haven't relapsed or anything like that. So I just been taking a little bit of time for myself lately and taking it day by day. So
Wow, sure sorry for that. Miniature poodle or Great Dane? What
she
do
is
you have?
a 45-pound pit bull boxer mix. She's just a little mutt. I found her at school, and she was the sweetest thing. They used her for all the pokes and X-rays and everything. They used her for everything. So I was like, nobody else wanted her. I felt so bad. I was like, you're coming home with me.
Good for you.
Big
Talk us-
difference between 25 and 19.
Yes, there is. I'll be 27 this year, actually. So
Some of us don't talk about age much.
I know I feel weird saying 27.
Pretty much all of us.
Enjoy every year.
Thank you.
Fabulous. Thoughts from the board?
I would move to grant licensure
And
pending all the
are you
other,
officially doing that?
yes, unless
Excellent.
anyone else
I will
has
second that.
any comment.
Any discussion before the vote?
I just want to say that I appreciate that you recognize and you have some self-reflection and you recognize where that path would lead you. And when you say, I probably should do more social interactions than I do, maybe you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Maybe you have found the groove of the outside work and the creative outlets, and that crazy social stuff isn't for everybody. And if it brings more of that same party and temptation, then don't.
I agree with that. Yeah.
You're fine how you are.
Thank you. I agree with that.
You be you.
Thank you.
Okay, back to our motion and our second. I'm going to ask the question. All in favor of our motion on the floor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. You're all set.
Thank you.
Congratulations
Thank you so much.
and the best.
Thank you.
Your license has been issued.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys. Thank you. My dog's gonna be so excited. All the dentals they want me to do.
So did she take the?
She passed it.
That, the only thing she needed was board approval.
Okay, so everything else.
Okay,
That took a lot of
that was pretty much immediate gratification. That was nicely done. Way to go.
So good.
I was.
How long do I have to wait? None.
None.
She asked you how old she is.
We're moving into administrative hearings. We'll start with a petition to withdraw probation. Dr. McGovern. Good morning.
Good morning.
We talked about exciting things for one of the previous people before us, but this is super exciting.
Hopefully.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see. Rebecca McGovern, DVM, petition to withdraw probation. This is an administrative hearing being held on October 31st, 2024 at 1202 East 38th Street, Discovery Hall, Suite 100, Indianapolis, Indiana, 46205, and electronically through Microsoft Teams, excuse me, at 9:54 a.m. local time. This hearing is being conducted pursuant to the laws of the state of Indiana found in Indiana Code 4-21.5 before 6 members of the Indiana Board of Veterinary Medicine in a cause docketed as administrative cause number 2020 VB0014. The notice of time and place of this hearing was emailed to the respondent as provided by law on October 8th, 2024. The purpose of this hearing is to consider the petition to withdraw probation as filed by Rebecca McGovern on October 7th, 2024. My name is Jerry Rodenbarger, and I am serving as the hearing officer for this board. The following members of the board are sitting with me on this hearing: Paul Clemente, DVM, John Schneider, DVM, Stephen Sunbury, DVM, Natalie C. Goodwin, consumer member, and Kelly Peelman, DVM. At this time, I'll request that any board member who feels that he or she cannot give this individual a fair hearing and render an impartial decision to remove himself or herself from this hearing. May we have appearance of counsel, please?
Amy Osborne for the state of Indiana.
Janine Carriage, Barnes and Thornburg, on behalf of Dr. McGovern.
Thank you very much. You're still
Yes.
sworn in?
Yeah.
Excellent. On top of that this time. Will all those who know themselves to be a witness or who may be witnesses in this cause, please stand and raise your right hand to be sworn. Upsy daisy. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give in this cause will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Excellent.
Yes.
Thank you. Be seated. You are seated. The parties in this matter are hereby notified that the board will take official judicial notice of its file and record in this matter. All individuals attending this meeting are hereby placed on notice that this meeting is being recorded pursuant to Indiana law and will be a matter of public record. Opening statements, please.
Yes, we're here to formally and officially ask that Dr. McGovern's probation status be withdrawn and her license fully reinstated. She's complied with all conditions of her probation. We believe in your file should be record of all of her personal appearances and her compliance with her probationary status. And it is our understanding that the state has no objection to withdrawal of the probation.
Thank you.
The state believes that respondent will demonstrate that she has met all the terms of her probation, and as counsel mentioned, the state does not intend to object, but we do have one piece of evidence we would like to enter in it when it is our time.
Okay. Would you like to proceed?
Yes, Dr. McGovern, could you please demonstrate and explain to the board how you've complied with the conditions of your probation?
I mean, you guys should have most everything, but I believe since around September of 2021, I've been in the well-being program, and you guys have all the quarterly reports from my employer, Ann Kelly, my addictionologist, all my meeting logs, and to my knowledge, there's nothing that I have not complied with in these last 3 years. I'm still at the same job location. There's been no changes. I don't know how much detail to go into. To my knowledge, I've met all compliance.
Okay, thank you.
Do you have any questions?
I have no questions.
Okay, should we have her present the piece of evidence? Would you like to present?
Does the board have any questions?
Do you all have any questions for her?
Dr. McGovern?
Yes.
I read in your record, so you're going to be done with Dr. Farr? Or are you going to continue with him? Okay.
For the
Because I think
foreseeable future.
I read a brief place where it said your last meeting with him was this September.
Oh, no, that's just his way of saying the last time we met together was in September.
Okay, so you're going to continue because that's pretty important support.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Him and I work well together. I'm really glad I found him, and yes, no, I am planning to see him or his practice for the foreseeable future.
And am I missing something? Did you apply for a CSR after your last appearance?
Yep, I did. I went in front of the Board of Pharmacy, and they granted it to me under the same probationary terms as you guys did.
And then what about a DEA?
I believe I need a license in good standing with the state and a CSR in good standing before I can go to the DEA.
Those were, was buprenorphine prescribed for you to help with your recovery?
Mhm.
Do you still have to take that then?
Per my addictionologist and all the studies, he recommends that, that we stay on that, yes.
Because it did say something about they can use that long-term. Is that,
According to
right?
the studies, that's what's recommended, yes, to prevent relapse.
and when is your well-being contract up?
I have another 2 years. I think it renews November, I signed it in November of 2021. So I still have another 2 years with them.
So I think her safety mechanisms are still in place. That was going to be my concern. If she's still seeing Dr. Farr and continuing with the well-being, and she goes to meetings almost every other night. So I'd be willing to make a motion when the time comes. There's more discussion.
A little bit more
Yeah.
to do.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay.
No, yes, input was fabulous. Thanks, Paul. How's work? How's,
Good. We actually hired a second doctor a couple months ago. She's part-time. I'm still full-time. I work 5 days a week. We are actually moving, like we're still gonna be, we're just moving to a different building. We're going to New Pal. I don't have an exact date, probably within the next couple months. So that's exciting. It's exciting. It's gonna be a bigger location. But all this, still working with all the same people, the same boss, just different building, so.
other comments, concerns, thoughts? Kind of echoing things that Kelly has said with previous ones. You're just super vibrant and you look great.
Thank you.
You seem pretty happy.
I am, thank you.
That's fantastic.
I've come a long way.
We have
Very excited.
been together some, so.
3 years.
Yeah, absolutely. Can we move on? Is that okay?
Technically, I think they have to close or rest and then.
Okay.
We have nothing further to present. Thank you so much.
Okay.
The state would just like to enter in Exhibit 1, which is an affidavit from Board Director McMahon indicating that respondent has completed all of her probationary terms as it regards to information that she's had to submit to the board. That's all the state would ask for that to be entered into the record.
Okay, do I have to accept that?
Yes.
Yeah.
We don't have to, but.
Well, okay.
I'd like for you to.
We
no objection.
accept that into the record. So, closing statements? Or have we had those more or less? Would either like to make a closing statement?
No.
You're all good?
I would just like to reinstate the board, or the state has no intention to object.
Okay, awesome. These proceedings, according to notice, are hereby concluded. This cause is therefore adjourned until further notice. Thank you for coming. Paul?
I would make a motion to withdraw the probationary status on Dr. McGovern's license and allow her to proceed with full licensure.
I second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor. Any commentary? Good. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Excellent. Congratulations.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
I say this with all the love. I hope I never have to see y'all again.
That's pretty hurtful.
Not the first one that mentioned it.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
You bet. We have a proposed settlement agreement for Zachary Luff, DVM.
I'm Carlo Girolamo, Scout's the Truth for Dr. Love.
Okay. Welcome.
That's okay. he's being represented by counsel.
No, I get it.
Okay.
Kind of get it. Okay. This is a proposed settlement agreement. This is an administrative hearing being held on October 31st, 2024 at 1202 East 38th Street, Discovery Hall, Suite 100, Indianapolis, Indiana, 46205, and electronically through Microsoft Teams at 10:05 a.m. local time. This hearing is being conducted pursuant to the laws of the state of Indiana, found in Indiana Code 4-21.5 before 6 members of the Indiana Board of Veterinary Medicine in a cause docketed as administrative cause number 2024 VB0010. The notice of time and place of this hearing was emailed to the respondent via counsel as provided by law on September 26, 2024. The purpose of this hearing is to consider the proposed settlement agreement filed on September 25th, 2024. My name is Jerry Rodenbarger, and I'm serving as the hearing officer for this board. The following members of the board are sitting with me on this hearing: Paul Clemente, DVM, John Schneier, DVM, Stephen Sunbury, DVM, Natalie C. Goodwin, consumer member, and Kelly Peelman, DVM. At this time, I'll request that any board member who feels that he or she cannot give this individual a fair hearing and render an impartial decision to remove himself or herself from this hearing. Appearance of counsel, please.
Amy Osborne, state of Indiana.
Carlo Girolamo, Spouse of Truth.
Thank you very much. You are still sworn in. Well, we have any witnesses?
I don't believe so.
No. Okay. All individuals attending this meeting are hereby placed on notice that this meeting is being recorded pursuant to Indiana law and will be a matter of public record. You may now present the proposed agreement.
Yes, thank you. You have the agreement in front of you. We believe that this, along with respondents' mitigating actions following the issue with the, I believe it was the dog Oakley, that this will remedy the standard of care issue that was presented in the original complaint. It does call for a letter of reprimand and for, I believe that's it, after some fairly extensive continuing education, that was done by the respondent prior to this filing.
Okay. Commentary?
Nothing else to add. Oh, I would also add that I think it's addressed in the settlement agreement that there was also compensation made to the Oakley's owners.
I think that was
in addition to
$6,000. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. I saw that as well. Do we ask questions here to them? Their audience?
If you want.
Does anybody have any comments or concerns? Everybody's familiar with the settlement agreement as it is. Okay. Any closing statements?
We just ask that you approve it.
What's that?
We just ask that you approve it.
Okay, thank you. These proceedings, according to notice, are hereby concluded. This cause is therefore adjourned until further notice. Thank you all for coming. Comments from the board, or do I hear a motion to approve the settlement agreement?
Do I have to abstain from voting at all, since I was involved in it?
Because there was a settlement conference?
Yeah. I would. So
Okay.
when the time comes, I'll abstain.
I'd make a motion to accept the proposed settlement agreement.
Thank you, Steve. Second? I'll second that. All those in favor signify by, well, let's do a roll call, since we're going to have an abstention. Paul Clemente?
I abstain.
John Schneier?
I agree.
Stephen Sunbury?
Yes.
Natalie C. Goodwin?
Yes.
Kelly Peelman?
Yes.
Jerry Rodenbarger, yes. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Everybody still okay? Everybody needs a break? Okay.
Why you guys looking at me?
Just sometimes you need a
We'll see
break.
how far I
That's Juliet.
can. We're flying, I don't want to stop it.
At this point, it's a contest.
I'll lose, but.
Well, it's looking like it's going to be me at some point, so. All right. Order to show cause, I believe we have Meredith, I apologize, Engerski.
Yeah.
In order to show cause.
And then the cause number, 12 is it?
Apologies, we're making some last minute modifications since this just came before us, so sorry for that.
No problem.
Welcome, have a seat. Thank you very much. And your client, name pronunciation?
Engerski, yes.
Engerski. Okay, thank you. This is an administrative hearing being held on October 31st, 2024 at 1202 East 38th Street, Discovery Hall, Suite 100, Indianapolis, Indiana, 46205, and electronically through the Microsoft Teams at 10:12 a.m. local time. This hearing is being conducted pursuant to the laws of the state of Indiana found in Indiana Code 4-21.5 before 6 members of the Indiana Board of Veterinary Medicine in a cause docketed as an order to show cause number 2024 VB0012. The notice of time and place of this hearing was emailed to the respondent via council as provided by law on September 26th, 2024. The purpose of this hearing is to consider the proposed settlement agreement filed this morning.
Yes.
On October 31st, 2024. My name is Jerry Rodenbarger, and I am serving as hearing officer for this board. The following members of the board are sitting with me on this hearing: Paul Clemente, DVM, John Schneider, DVM, Stephen Sunbury, DVM, Natalie C. Goodwin, consumer member, and Kelly Peelman, DVM. At this time, I will request that any board member who feels that he or she cannot give this individual a fair hearing and render an impartial decision to remove himself or herself from this hearing. Okay. Appearance of counsel, please.
Amy Osborne, State of Indiana.
Hayden Parsons for Ms. Engerski.
Thank you very much. And you are still sworn in. I don't think we have any witnesses. All individuals attending this meeting are hereby placed on notice that this meeting is being recorded pursuant to Indiana law and will be a matter of public record. Can we have presentation of the proposed agreement?
Sure. Respondent has agreed to cease and desist all action that is regarding veterinary practice that was based, that the action that the motion for cease and desist was based on. We ask that you issue that notice of cease and desist to respondent today.
Thank you.
We are in complete, my client is in complete agreement with the offer. settlement agreement. And the only thing that I believe that should be mentioned is that Ms. Gursky seems to have just misunderstood the statutes, unfortunately. So for someone who's unfamiliar with statutory language, they can misconstrue some of what is or is not, in this case, practice. She didn't understand that by the statute, she would have been considered practicing, even though she believed that she was not.
Okay, thank you. Any commentary from the board at this point? Questions regarding the cease and desist? No? Closing commentary from either of you? Just accept this. Understand. These proceedings, according to notice, are hereby concluded. This cause is therefore adjourned until further notice. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm looking for a motion to issue a notice of cease and desist.
I move to issue a notice to cease and desist for Meredith Ingursky.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Paul. Let's roll call. Paul Clemente.
Aye.
John Schneider.
Aye.
Stephen Sunbury.
Aye.
Natalie C. Goodwin.
Aye.
Kelly Peelman.
Aye.
And Jerry Rodenbarger. Aye. Thank you. Is Dominique Whitaker here? He's not. What do we do in this case?
So you'll go.
From the previous one, you mean?
Oh, you don't have those for her?
Probably do. Here it is. Yes, I do. Okay,
It
I'll go
should
through the
have
first
a-
and I got it. Excellent. Okay. For Dominique Whitaker, this is an order to show cause or cease and desist. This is an administrative hearing being held on October 31st, 2024 at 1202 East 38th Street, Discovery Hall, Suite 100, Indianapolis, Indiana, 46205, and electronically through Microsoft Teams at 10:17 a.m. local time. This hearing is being conducted pursuant to the laws of the state of Indiana, found in Indiana Code 4-21.5, before 6 members of the Indiana Board of Veterinary Medicine in a cause docketed as administrative cause number 2024 VB0015. The notice of time and place of this hearing was mailed to the respondent as provided by law on September 25th, 2024. The purpose of this hearing is to consider whether the board should issue an order commanding that the respondent cease and desist from unlicensed practice of veterinary medicine as alleged in the motion for order to cease and desist filed by the petitioner on September 24th, 2024. My name is Jerry Rodenbarger and I am serving as the hearing officer for this board. The following members of the board are sitting with me on this hearing: Paul Clemente, DVM, John Schneider, DVM, Stephen Sunbury, DVM, Natalie C. Goodwin, consumer member, Kelly Peelman, DVM. At this time, I will request that any board member who feels that he or she cannot give this individual a fair hearing and render an impartial decision to remove himself or herself from this hearing. Point, I still, because she's not here.
Yeah, so you can either let Amy do it, or you can use on your own to do it.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and move that we proceed with the notice of proposed default and vote on the motion before us regarding the cease and desist.
No, you'll have to vote
Closing.
on default, or on the notice of proposed default, because you'll have to issue that order first.
Okay, I need a motion to do what?
Issue a notice of proposed default.
To issue the notice of proposed default from our group.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, let's have a roll call. Paul Clemente,
Aye.
John Schnarr,
Aye.
Stephen Sunbury,
Aye.
Natalie C. Goodwin,
Aye.
Kelly Peelman,
Aye.
and Jerry Rodenbarger, aye.
And then
Done.
you don't move forward. She has 7 days to respond after getting that notice. So we will put it back on January meeting. So we will, either she will respond and present, or
Yeah.
Well, this is your legal stuff. It's okay. I'm just moving forward blind on this.
Sure. And then I think we're done with hearings. If Amy,
We are.
you want Amy to go ahead and do her report since she's up there, or?
I can hang out.
Sure. Why not?
Well, first of all, I have to give you all a hard time for stealing my attorney, but you do have a pretty good board director, so I guess it's okay.
That's real easy.
So you guys might be stuck with me for a little while until we find someone to take her place. The board report is in front of you. I'll just go over it briefly. If you have any questions, feel free to stop me. The first page is our consumer complaint report. The last time you all met, I'm sorry, the dates appear to not be fixed, but the last time you met, it was 6.1 months of our average case age. It's now down to 5.7 months, so we like that because it's actually lower than our 6 to 9 months that we prefer for our investigations. At the beginning of the year, it looks like we had, sorry, I can't read it, 60 cases open, or 82 cases open, and 60 currently open at this time. We've opened 28 and closed 49 over the last quarter. The next page is your consumer complaints by location of respondent and by complainant. As you can see, it kind of follows some sort of population with Hamilton County and Lake County, but also you have Elkhart in there and Marion County as well for where the respondent is located, and same for complainant. Most of our complaints are against veterinarians, and most of them have allegations of professional malpractice. So any questions regarding those pages? The next page is your case dispositions, kind of how our cases that we've closed, what they over the last quarter look like. So 18 of those have been closed, one has been closed with a warning, and one has been filed as a charge, or in 2024. Breaking that down even further, cases, I'm sorry, these numbers don't seem to match up. I'm not exactly sure why. Case closed with litigation means we found no violation, so we closed the file out. Same with decision not to proceed and general close. 7 have those litigation files that have been opened, and 10 have been a warning letter, and 1 was referred to a prosecutor. The next page kind of shows you that breakdown a little bit more over the last, I guess, 10 months now, almost 11 months with your veterinarian cases. For litigation files, our average case age is 7.6 months. That was in July. Now it is about 6 months. We currently have, I'm really sorry. I don't think that this was the right numbers. Brittany leaves and everything goes to crap. I'll get that number for you and get you an updated report. We have not opened or closed any litigation files, I believe, in the last quarter, at least not our data is showing that. Here shows the county of respondents, but most of those being in Hamilton County, with 5 administrative complaints, 2 cease and desist that I think were remedied today, and 2 post-discipline. Those files are against veterinarians, again, being the professional malpractice as the largest allegation. So, any questions on that?
I don't think so. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to suggest that we take a 5-8 minute break and reconvene.